Good evening from the Channel's newsroom in London. French police are preparing for another weekend of violence as protesters continue their action against pension reforms. There were scuffles in the capital as demonstrators marched through the city, carrying flares, lighting fires and causing chaos. Over 5 days, millions of people were taking action nationwide. The biggest strike in decades, shutting down public transport and reducing hospital staff numbers, teachers and police at work. The Interior Ministry says more than 800,000 people hit the streets across the country on day one. The walkout is set to continue until Tuesday.
J'ai vu depuis le début de ce débat, depuis que nous avons commencé à travailler sur la question de la mise en place d'un système universel de retraite, j'ai vu certains désigner des catégories de Français en les accusant de tous les maux. J'en ai vu d'autres diffuser des chiffres qui ne correspondent pas à la réalité et qu'ils savent faux, des fake news comme on dit parfois en mauvais français et en bon anglais. Je présenterai ensuite, mercredi prochain, à 12 h, au Conseil économique, social et environnemental, qui est la chambre du dialogue social et des corps intermédiaires, l'intégralité du projet du gouvernement.
Scores of people were trapped when a 6-story building collapsed in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. Hundreds looked on as emergency workers desperately tried to find survivors in the rubble. Crowds cheered as people were pulled out alive, but quickly silenced as bodies were also recovered. The Red Cross says 22 families were living in the building. The cause of the collapse wasn't immediately clear. 4 men suspected of raping and killing a female vet have been shot dead by police in India. They'd been taken to the scene of a murder for a crime reconstruction. Police say they opened fire when the suspects allegedly tried to snatch guns from the officers. The police have been praised for their actions. Huge crowds who've been demanding justice for the 27-year-old victim turned out in their droves to celebrate the officers, showering them with flowers and sweets.
हम सभी लोग बहुत खुश हैं, वो मेरी सोसाइटी की बेटी थी, तो हम सभी को न्याय मिला और आगे भी जो भी ऐसे क्राइम करने के लिए सोचेगा भी ना, वो 10 बार पहले ऐसे सोचेगा। और मुझे ऐसे लगता है यूपी में भी सेम वारदात हुई है, तो यूपी पुलिस को भी ऐसे लेसन लेना चाहिए।
Human rights organisations, including Amnesty International, are calling for an investigation to establish whether the killings were extrajudicial.
I am feeling happy that this was the end we all wanted for them, but this end was supposed to be through the legal system, and it should have been happened through proper channels.
Firefighters in Australia are facing huge infernos as bushfires continue to ravage New South Wales. More than 100 fires are burning across the state, some now merging to create a so-called mega blaze north of the country's largest city, Sydney. Hot and windy conditions are making it difficult for crews battling the flames, which are burning out of control. Since October, bushfires have killed 6 people and destroyed more than 700 homes across the country. The German leader Angela Merkel was called for a global fight against anti-Semitism. Her comments came as she visited the former concentration camp, Auschwitz, for the first time in her 14 years as Chancellor. Paying her respects to the victims, she joined the Polish Prime Minister in laying a wreath at the death wall. She also pledged 60 million euros to help conserve the site where the Nazi regime murdered an estimated 1.1 million people.
Oświęcim liegt in Polen. Aber im Oktober 1939 wurde Auschwitz als Teil des Deutschen Reiches annektiert. Auschwitz war ein deutsches, von Deutschen betriebenes Vernichtungslager. Es ist mir wichtig, diese Tatsache zu betonen. Es ist wichtig, die Täter deutlich zu benennen. Das sind wir Deutschen den Opfern schuldig und uns selbst.
A British woman whose heart stopped beating for 6 hours has been brought back to life. Teacher Audrey Showman developed severe hypothermia when she was caught in a snowstorm while hiking in the Spanish Pyrenees last month.
I thought she was dead because I was trying to feel for a pulse, trying to feel for... My fingers were also numb, so I wasn't sure if it was my fingers, but I couldn't feel a breath. I couldn't feel a heartbeat or anything.
Amazing. It's like a miracle, except I think it's all because of the doctors.
And finally, a chimpanzee is wowing crowds in China. After closely watching zookeepers wash their clothes on hot days, the animal started getting excited. So he was handed his own set of tools and quickly perfected the art of doing laundry. The 18-year-old was already the star attraction at the zoo, displaying talents like push-ups, handstands and pulling faces. And now he has another entertaining hobby added to his skill set. And that's your international news around the world in 5.